At Hangtown, the raw speed of Honda HRC Progressive's Chance Hymas was undeniable. Qualifying a blistering second quickest, mere 0.5 seconds off Hayden Deegan's top time, Hymas arrived with clear intentions and the pace to challenge for the top. He started Moto2 exactly as expected, battling intensely with early leader Casey Cochran, showcasing the aggressive, front-running style we know he possesses. However, the wheels began to come off, not due to a crash or a mechanical, but from an unseen, insidious adversary. Hymas dramatically faded, dropping all the way back to a 13th place finish, a stark contrast to his qualifying pace. The true story emerged post-race. The young Idaho native had been battling a severe case of food poisoning since Monday, rendering him unable to keep anything in his system until Tuesday afternoon. He soldiered through, feeling somewhat better by Saturday, but a pre-moto meal proved disastrous, leading to him throwing up all his food and electrolytes just before the gate dropped for Moto2. This wasn't a rider lacking talent or training. This was an athlete whose body was actively failing him, leaving him with nothing in the tank as he pushed through one of the most physically demanding motos of the season in brutal triple-digit temperatures. His decision to sit out Moto2, therefore, was not a surrender but a professional, self-preservative act, prioritizing his health and long-term championship prospects. For a rider with championship aspirations, taking a zero in a moto is devastating, but attempting to ride beyond his body's capacity could have led to serious injury. Hymas' candidness on Instagram about his ordeal not only humanizes the elite athlete, but also highlights the incredible, often unseen, struggles these riders face. The good news is that Hymas is expected to be back on the line for round 3 at Thunder Valley this Saturday, a testament to his rapid recovery and determination to rebound from a weekend where sheer grit couldn't overcome physical breakdown. When a defending champion is out with an unconfirmed nebulous injury and then proceeds to publicly refute his own team's optimistic timeline, it doesn't just raise eyebrows, it sends up massive, flashing red flags. This entire scenario plays directly, almost too perfectly, into the prevalent industry belief, the rumor that's been thundering through the pits for months, that Sexton is, indeed, transitioning, making the leap to the green machines of Kawasaki for the 2026 season. You have to imagine KTM's likely frustration, their potential exasperation, with this perceived premature leak of his next big move, especially given the monumental Supercross success he just delivered on their meticulously prepared machine. It adds a fascinating, almost political, dimension to his current hiatus. And the echoes, folks, the eerie echoes of Cooper Webb's strained, contentious departure from KTM, where he was ultimately told to stay home. They hang heavy in the air, prompting some very uncomfortable questions about the true nature of the relationship between Chase Sexton and his current team. Is history repeating itself? Beyond the contract drama, the high-stakes poker game of team switches, there's the pressing, patriotic question of the motocross of nations. With the MXON slated for home soil this year, it's almost unthinkable, unimaginable that a rider of Sexton's immense caliber, a proven winner, wouldn't want to be considered, wouldn't be chomping at the bit to represent Team USA. Yet to even be in the conversation, he would absolutely need to get some outdoor races under his belt to demonstrate not just fitness, but that razor-sharp, race-winning form we know he possesses. His prolonged, mysterious absence complicates this ambition significantly. And then, just to stir the pot a little more, you have the public comments from none other than Jorge Prado over an MXGP about his factory Kawasaki needing more power. If Sexton is indeed heading to Kawasaki, will he be making similar demands for development for more horsepower in 2026? Or does this perhaps indicate potential challenges, a steeper hill to climb, for the green team's overall package as they look to the future? Sexton's return, whenever it finally happens, and under whatever circumstances, will be an absolutely critical moment, not just for his own championship hopes this season, but for the future landscape of the sport, the balance of power, and the unspoken, simmering tensions that lie just beneath the surface in those fiercely competitive pits.
For 24, RKM. So again, we got to see Moto 450 at Daytona. One of these guys had a really good ride in the game. And it's kind of good for 450. He's a big dude. He's a strong dude. Really aggressive.
Eli Tomac's Moto2 victory was an undeniable, electrifying statement, a throwback to the Tomac of old, displaying that unreal, devastating pace in the final 10 minutes that once left his rivals breathless. Under the scorching Hangtown sun, with the track at its most demanding, Tomac turned up the intensity precisely when others were fading, charging forward with a relentless aggression that culminated in a truly vintage ride to the checkered flag. It was a powerful reminder that his fitness, his raw speed, and his unique ability to push through the agony of a long moto remained very much intact, confirming his place as a top contender. This moto alone was enough to send shivers down the spines of his competitors and ignite belief among his loyal fan base. However, the other side of that vintage coin revealed itself with painful clarity in Moto2. Tomac suffered a horrendous and critically untimely start, finding himself mired deep in the pack, reportedly battling in the 20s. This early disadvantage immediately extinguished any hopes of a perfect 1-to-1 sweep for the day. Tomac himself elaborated on the chaotic opening moments. "I got hit by the guy next to me. I think it was Valentin Gillett just outside the rut," he revealed, describing the initial entanglement that compromised his launch. Despite this early setback, Tomac, being Tomac, began an aggressive charge through the field. He was making significant headway, climbing through the top 10 and running in a solid 6th or 7th position, when another self-inflicted wound occurred. As he admitted, "I made a mistake on my own and washed the front end." This mid-moto front tire slip, while seemingly minor, was a crucial, devastating blow to his momentum and hopes for an overall podium. It forced him to fight tooth and nail just to recover. To his immense credit, Tomac rallied to salvage a 9th-place finish from what could have been an even worse outcome. This speaks volumes about his sheer determination and unwillingness to ever give up. However, the bitter truth remains, as Tomac himself lamented, "I think I would have had a good shot to make the podium had I not made that mistake, but was just too much to overcome in the end." He emphatically left a ton of meat on the bone at Hangtown. This weekend provides a fascinating, yet frustrating, analytical snapshot of Eli Tomac's current position. He has the speed to win motos, he has the fitness to dominate late, but the consistency of his starts, combined with those rare but costly mid-race errors, are the fundamental obstacles preventing him from converting individual moto brilliance into consistent overall victories against a rider as precise and consistent as Jet Lawrence. As the series now heads to Thunder Valley, a track where Tomac has historically been dominant, the pressure for a flawless performance will be immense, not just to gain points, but to leave an indelible mark on a track that has seen some of his most iconic rides.